Yeah, it does look good. All right, we are officially ready to begin this morning's meeting. Thank you guys very much for being here. I'm gonna make sure I've got the chat box on the screen so we can see. Good morning, Carrie Walker. Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's get started. We've got some birthdays coming up this week. I know we've got two of them on the 23rd. We've got Will McKeechee. Happy birthday to you, Will. And then we also have Kristen Ackerman, who's becoming a ninja today with Allie Atwell. Got ninja graduation today, Carrie. So happy birthday to you guys. We also have some congrats in order that we've started doing last month. We started congratulating everybody on their anniversaries with the company. So we've got Josh Selden this month, Derek Hunter, Greg Gethers, Jeff Burns, Cindy Ellenberger, Justin Walkendorf, Leslie Evans, Lisa Northrup, Dan Poppy, Rick Atkinson, Tommy Lovett, and Pam Bishop. Look at that right-hand column. That is pretty darn cool. Over 13 years, Leslie, Lisa 16 years, Dan Poppy 20, Rick Atkinson 22, Tommy Lovett 28, and Pam Bishop 29. That is crazy awesome. For those of you who didn't see an update on Pam's husband, Bob, he is doing well. He's recovering. I talked to Pam, I think she came in yesterday or 2 days ago. And they were walking, getting up and running, or walking, getting up and moving, not running. They had walked 6 houses the other day, and that is very impressive if you can consider what he had recently been through. So he's on the mend. They're doing a good job. They're staying strong, getting healthy. So keep the prayers coming for Bob and Pam and their family. Also, some congratulations in order. There is a new Mrs. in the house. This is Cherylaine's daughter, Reagan, and her new son-in-law. What is Reagan's husband's name? Justin. So their new last name, well, Reagan's new last name is Henry, and that is her husband, Justin, there. They had the wedding on the 16th at Alhambra Hall. So congrats to you guys, Cheryline. Lots of planning and work, I'm sure. Now you got both your girls married up. All right, mark your calendar. You may have seen this email. We've got vision boards and cocktails coming. I met with a young woman yesterday out in Somerville, actually. She lives in, what is the big neighborhood up there? White Gables, way out in Somerville, kind of like Knightsville. And she wants to get a real estate license, but she's thinking they might end up moving back to Murrells Inlet. So I just had a conversation with her. We actually went to go have coffee at Starbucks, and you guys can probably relate to this. And when we got there, Starbucks was closed, and it was only drive-through from 4:30 to 6:30. So I was like, well, I don't know what we're going to do, where we're going to go. So we went to Harris Teeter, and we met in Harris Teeter in their little cafe area. So the things you have to do with COVID, right? But anyway, she started talking about vision boards and how it's so powerful, and her husband got on board with them. And it's just amazing what you accomplish when you put a visual in front of your face every single day. So if you haven't done one before, join us. We're going to do it during happy hour on Thursday, February 3rd here at the office. And anybody can come. We have, every time we do it, we have somebody bring their kids or their spouse or their best friend or something like that. We'll have beer and wine and some appetizers and munchies. All you have to do is bring a picture frame. That's it. And we'll take care of everything else. If you have magazines, absolutely bring them, because that would be helpful. All right. So vision boards and cocktails on the 3rd. Also, a slight shift in floor duty starting next week. If you are signed up for floor duty, we are requiring you to start being present. The reason for that is because we are missing walk-ins. We have walk-ins come in, and we don't have anybody signed up for floor. So we're kind of scurrying around the office looking for somebody who's here, who's available, who can help. That's happened at Park Circle as well. I got a call actually 2 days ago saying I would like to have more information on real estate, and I can't tell if this building is for sale by Carolina One or if there's supposed to be a realtor here. And I was like, oh, crud. So I also I'm going to talk to Philip and Michael about that as well. So that way we can maybe put some more decals and stuff on the windows so it doesn't look like it's for sale. So floor duty from now on, you must be present. And hey, if that is a way to get people in, yeah, the building's for sale. Not this one, but maybe another one. So let's figure that out. But anyway, you got to be present from now on. A lot of people have asked me about the awards and whether or not we're having an award ceremony. I will tell you that our leadership team, Michael and Philip and Patty in particular, have gone through great strides to try to get us an award ceremony, formal, something exciting, something different that would coincide with COVID. And the truth is, we had permission from the city of Charleston to have a large event and a large gathering at the Joe Riley Stadium. But as we worked through all the details, we just couldn't think of a way that we could do it where everybody would be safe and everybody would feel comfortable. So we're not doing a company-wide award ceremony, but we will do an office one. In fact, after Ninja graduation today, I have a meeting with all the rest of the brokers to determine what their offices are doing and sharing ideas and getting creative so we can find a way to make something fun and exciting that still gives you guys the recognition that you deserve, but does it in a manner that's safe. So more to come on that, and I think you'll see some surprises next week that will kind of relate to that. So yes, we are going to do something for awards. It's just going to be different, like everything, right? Okay, a couple of important memos. Thank you very, very much for everybody who donated blood yesterday. I donated blood yesterday for the first time. I was really nervous, to be honest. I don't know why I was so nervous. I've had like 8 surgeries in my life. I was really nervous to give blood. And then Lauren Zarilla texted me and she was really nervous. And I was like, great. And she said, can we go at the same time and hold hands? I'm like, well, I think they kind of need our hand, but we can definitely go at the same time. So her, Whitley, and I went together and we donated blood and it was fun. And the ladies in there were awesome. So thank you everybody who did it. We were steady all day yesterday, which was awesome. I'm not sure the final numbers. I reached out yesterday, but it was late in the day, so I haven't heard yet. But it's obviously a critical need that we can help with to give back to the community. So thank you to everybody who donated blood. Another important memo, I know some of you received this email from Alyssa and Tony. They're on a mission to win this contest that has been put in front of them. You know when you log into Rose and you go to look for somebody's name and they have one of these creepy little monsters as their face? That's their contest, to get everybody's creepy little monster a real person's face. So if you are one of those people who received that email, please help them. We always want to see the girls win and get more money, get more prizes, that everything for everything that they do for us. So if you can help, put your headshot on Rose. We will send out a tutorial later today on how to do that. Okay, Insta Solutions. We've talked about this a bunch. This was kind of part of what was in Dave's email as well. If we don't start controlling the inventory, the little inventory that we have, we're going to lose our advantage and the leverage that we have over other companies. So use your resources like InstaList. It's not perfect. We know. We don't want it to be perfect. We just want to find ways to start making matches between buyers and sellers, and this is the best resource. Every time I do a business planning appointment with somebody and we roll through your hot and warm list, my first question to you after we put them all on paper is, hey, are these in InstaList? And 90% of the time, you guys say, no, not yet. Not all of them, some of them. So we've got to start getting that in there. It's only as good as the system. The system is only as good as much as we use it, right? So we've got to use it. So put that stuff in there. Less information is always better, and just work through it. Thorne said, I'm going on a closing match I had in InstaList next week. That's awesome. It works. Super awesome. Okay, another reminder on Office Space. I really hope to have this wrapped up by next week. It's always one of those things where I think I've got it all wrapped up, and then I have one conversation and I'm like, oh no, I don't have it all wrapped up and I have to go back to the domino beginning. So if you are in a private office space that has a window and you do not want your space anymore, please tell me. Windows are obviously high commodities. So if you have that space and you're just not using it and you just don't think that you're going to need it, and you're okay with coming in just for the weekly things and using community space when you do come in, please let me know, because that would be very, very, very helpful. If you have questions about space, let me know about that as well. Okay, multiple offers training. We did that yesterday. I think we had probably 18 or so people in person, and then we had like 28 online. So it was awesome. So I know you guys are eager. You're really trying to figure out how to navigate our new uncharted territory here with low inventory, multiple offers. The biggest message I can deliver to you guys, and it's the theme of the day, is to set proper expectations for your buyers and sellers. And if you're unsure on how to do that, talk to me and we can figure it out. But we recorded yesterday's session. I sent it out on the Facebook page, but it's also on my YouTube page. So just make sure you're setting those expectations and crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's. Reminder on my YouTube page, speaking of, there's lots of tutorials and things on there. So use it as a resource. You can go on and subscribe, and every time I upload a new video, you'll get an alert. But there's a ton of tutorials on there that I send out to you guys often if you're looking for something, how to run a buy-side BMA or how to do testimonial tree. There's lots of resources on there. Okay, another resource. This video goes kind of quick, but I wanted to remind you guys, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, don't forget about Palm Agent for NetSheets. This is paid for by your mortgage team, Andrew and Cheryl. So every once in a while, it'll say your account is deactivated. Just shoot Andrew a text message real quick, and he'll activate your account for you, as they have to do it monthly. But Don't forget about it for net sheets. So I'm going to play this video. It's going to show you how to do a net sheet with multiple offers in Palm Agent. And like I said, it goes a little fast, but I'll try to navigate it for you, and I'll send out a slower one. So once you log in, you're obviously going to go to Seller tab. I had a thing in there already, so it asks if you want to start over. You put in the purchase price of the first offer. You're going to put in all of your details. I always put in miscellaneous something, so you have a cushion for something. So I always put in like 2,500, 3,000, just depends. Put in their loan balance and hit compute at the bottom. Don't worry about that. Once you hit compute, it gives you this awesome net sheet. Wonderful. Up in the top left there, it says multiple offers. You're going to click that, and then you're going to type in the rest of the details on that first offer. So what is the earnest money amount? Is there a home warranty? Any additional details? And again, you'll find that in the top left corner when you type in your first offer. Contingencies, nothing. You could put notes in there if you want to. So in this one, I put, I forget what I put. Let's see. Sent pre-approval letter with proof of down payment. And you'll see why that's kind of a cool thing to put in the notes in a second here. I obviously couldn't type very well. All right, so you do that. Then you're going to click add offer on the bottom. And now you're going to add in a new offer. So add in your second offer, and you go through the details again. What is the earnest money amount? Are they asking for a home warranty? You could change closing date if you want to. Whatever you need to add in. No notes, and then press add offer. Now let's say you want to add in your third offer. Do the same exact thing. You can also change these if it's a different type of loan. So let's say you've got an FHA loan or a VA loan. In that top left corner under conventional, you can change that. That was me editing the price because I made the two offers the same. So this one we changed to an FHA. We've got the same details, the purchase price, whatever the earnest money is, if they're asking for a home warranty. It's really hard to make these things up, by the way, and make it work. Like, it's really a lot easier when you have offers in your hand. Maybe these people are asking for closing costs. They asked for 2,500, so I put in add offer. And now I want to see my net sheet. So in the top right corner, we're going to see net sheet, and then we're going to do send full report. And it gives you the comparisons. So then you can see, and I'll show you in the next slide. There's the comparison that it gives you. And you can see the details where I put some notes in, whatever contingencies there are, and then what notes there are. So you could always put whatever notes you want. What'd you say, Carrie? Yeah, Carrie said he'll take number 2. That makes it very easy. But it's so simple and it's so visual for your clients. We have to remember to do this. And then it also gives you a breakdown, a single net sheet for each offer that you have. Yep, you can send it directly from your phone. You can email it. You can save it. You can send it as a text snapshot, like a short summary, or you can send them the full report. What I did with this one was I emailed it to myself, and then I had the PDF version of it. I could save it. I could print it with me and bring it to their house. I could text it to them real quick if I wanted to. All different kinds of resources. It's free because Andrew and Sherilyn pay for it. So use it. Use it. That's the value of good partners. All right. Any questions on Palm Agent? It is awesome. Like, it's one of my favorite tools. Even like the other stuff beyond net sheets, the infographics, like just the fun stuff that's in there, stuff to post to social media. It's awesome. Got to use it. All right. Another reminder on social media. I think we've buttoned up on this for the most part. Alex and I were talking about this 2 or 3 days ago. That was probably yesterday. Doesn't feel like that. But I have talked to you guys a million times about social media. We've just got to be careful. NAR, I had an email chain yesterday that I got caught up on late last night that I would have put in a sales meeting. But NAR is now their mission for, you know how every year they kind of get a theme and they're like, okay, this is what we're cracking down on this year. Now they're cracking down on what we post and what we say in our posts on social media because of all kinds of controversial things happening in the world, right? So they feel as though realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We never take our realtor hat off. And this is what Alex and I were talking about yesterday, how she was amazed at some of the people's comments in some of her CE classes where people just think, okay, I'm a realtor from 9 to 5, but then I can just go out to wherever social media and I can post whatever I want to because that's not on my real estate page. We've got to be very, very, very careful. It's a hat we do not take off. So more to come on that, but just keep in mind the social media part, a fine for $1,500 is a lot of money. And now they're finding the brokers in charge as well. And I really would not like to pay $1,500 on your behalf because we didn't type in the right words in social media comment or tagging to our company. So just be conscious of that. Ask me if you have questions. Our partners. So we put this up last week. Burger King, have it your way with Global Home Warranty, just to be kind of funny about it. But the real truth is it's so much easier when your clients have an issue post-closing and it's a Global Home Warranty and they can choose the contractor. It's a huge game changer. So keep it in mind when you're negotiating and home warranties come up, just reach out to Global Home Warranty and switch from whatever it is, American Home Shield, Home Warranties of America, whatever the other companies are. I'm sure they're all wonderful, but it's really nice to be able to have your own contractor. So don't be shy to switch it. There is a training on it on Wednesday, the 27th, which is next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So if you want to join that, sign up under Rose. And just if you have any questions, just pop it up while you're working and you can type your questions in the chat box as well. Insurance, a quick reminder. So I never really understood when I was an agent. I didn't understand the value of an independent agency versus a single agency. And I didn't really understand when people shopped for insurance, why, after I realized, why would they not go to Carolina One Insurance? Because they can basically shop it for you. Because of the fact that they have over 50 carriers, it's really nice for them to be able to say, okay, this one would be a good match for you, but this one might be a little more competitive. And let's see what we can do to negotiate those for you. One year you might choose this carrier, Lighthouse is I think who I have, but maybe you want to switch to Progressive the following year. Well, Carolina One is a member of both of them, so it's easy to switch. Whereas if you switch from one independent agency to another, it's a huge ordeal. So keep it in mind, they've got a lot of knowledge. They've got a good relationship with most of our agents. If you have a bad experience with one of them, let me know because that's the beauty of our partnership. We can go communicate that and fix that communication issue. All right, the exciting stuff, weekly production. So Kristen Davis and I were actually talking the other day about how it is not an easy market to get into right now. It is fast sales most times, but it is not easy. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused and stay on the high road. When you feel like you're going to break, call me. We'll talk through it. I'll pull you off the ledge. But it is not an easy market. So be proud of yourselves for everything you do every day. I wanted to put some charts in here from Dave's email. This is starting to become really, really alarming. So anybody want to explain to me what this chart visualizes?
We are short listings to sell.
Yeah. Charlene said we are short listings to sell.
A different type of big short.
Oh my gosh, it's a huge short. It's a different type of big short, as Charlene said. A totally different type of big short. In Dave's email, he had said that if you see that blue line at the very bottom, 2346 was the number of active listings we had on the market in the month of December. The amount we need is at the top in that orange line, which is 12,468. And that is just to reach a balanced market where buyers and sellers are even. This is the lowest amount of homes we've had to sell in over 20 years. It's insane. So we've got to figure out ways that we can creatively work around that. And I'm going to give you some ideas in a minute here about ways that we can navigate having such low inventory. But we've got to really make sure that we are doing everything we can to set proper expectations because of this. This is the absorption rates in the most active areas in MLS. Now, I showed this to Tyler last night, and I swear he's going to become an agent just by listening to everything I say all the time. But I said, Tyler, look at this. This is the number of months in this far right column where it says absorption rate, the number of months it takes to put a house on the market and close it right now in all these areas. And he's like, but only some of them say 1. The rest are point something. And I'm like, yeah, that's my point. It's like literally 0.3 of a month, a third of a month when you go on the market from the time that you go on to the time that you sell it. Yeah, fast and furious is right. Yes. Mostly, so Charlene brings up a very good question. She says, but do you actually mean close it? So how can that be? Cash and also what? Pre-approved, yeah. Off-market properties. Liz hit it on the head. So people like us leveraging our internal resources and selling homes before they get on the market and then putting them on the market and closing them 3 days later, right? Putting them on MLS as active contingent. So some of it, yeah, might be a little bit skewed, but it's just the reality of our market. It's no secret that we don't have enough inventory. Let me check some of these questions here. Lauren, reach out to Andrew. Yeah, Lauren's going to reach out to you, Andrew, about Palm Agent. And then just to confirm, personal pages are not subject to the fine. So yeah, Alex is right. Even on our personal pages, we must still follow our code of ethics. We have sworn to as realtors. Yes, the code of ethics has to be followed no matter what page you're posting on, no matter what conversation you're having, what party you're at, well, maybe you're not at a party nowadays, but wherever you are, you don't take off that realtor hat, so you're bound by the code of ethics. Now, opinions are okay. You're allowed to have your own opinion. We just have to be careful how we frame them. They can't be offensive or violating fair housing or anything like that. Really, really low inventory. What is the absorption rate for downtown? I can run it for you, Katrina. I don't know. He must not have put it on here because it's probably over like 1.5 months, which is crazy. But it looks like he only has things from 1.2 months and up, or faster, sorry. All right, any questions on Dave's reports?
I like that last line.
Total all MLS areas, 1.2 months.
Balance market is 5 to 7 months.
Yes.
We're talking.
Yeah. Carrie Walker said he's just pointing out the bottom line there. A balance market is 5 to 7 months worth of inventory, and we are well below that number. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's happening everywhere, everywhere. I talked to my friend Megan, who is my business partner up in Fayetteville, and same problem. My mom obviously struggles with the same problem in Jersey, which is kind of funny because I just think that nobody wants to move to Jersey. Everyone wants to move here. So I don't know what that's all about, but same stuff everywhere. All right, so our listing sales and closing activity so far for the month of January, we've got 19 listings for $7.9 million, average price of $420. 45 sales, which is awesome, $19.9 million, average price of $443, and 34 closings for $20.3 million, average price of $599. Lots of people to thank. We'll highlight the multiples for the month so far. We've got the Smith team with 2, Charlotte McDonald rocking it with 4, the Northrop team with 2, Cindy Ellenberger with 3, and Wise up in Polly's, man, 4 transactions this month. That's awesome. Ritter Group with 5, Perella Group over here with 10. Good stuff, guys. Digit Matheny 2, Poppy team with 4, Bonnie Cook with 4, Paul Lynch with 2, Lauren Zarilla 3, Casey Benton with 6. Go girl. Leet Rand team with 4, getting ready for that baby. Gotta get some money in the bank. Tina Hartford with 4, Doug Gepford with 2, Alex Terregas with 2, Renee Kramer team awesome with 4, Katrina Johnson 2, McKeechee team with 2, and Hometown Property Group 3, and the Fessler team with 2. Awesome work, everybody. Way to be, way to be. All right, another couple of points from Dave's email. Jumping back to that. Does anybody remember anything else from Dave's email that stood out to y'all? Okay, not all at once. You're overwhelming me today. All right, number 5 in his email was new construction. We actually have our new construction, our custom homes team in our conference room right now having a meeting. 41% of everything pending in the MLS right now is new construction. That's normally between 25 and 30%. That number has stayed around 40% since really last year, since really low inventory was beginning to be a massive problem. So if you guys don't know your new homes communities, find out, learn about them, because that could be the solution to some of your buyer problems. And I think sometimes we forget about that because we're always thinking, well, if it's an option, it'll be an MLS, but not necessarily. So learn your new home communities. That's very, very important. Foreclosures and short sales. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Literally the lowest it's ever been right now. It's basically non-existent. A combined 0.8% of all the available listings right now are foreclosures or short sales. That's crazy. So we'll see if this changes. Dave's obviously going to watch this. We'll see if this changes when forbearance ends. Hopefully not too much, but probably so a little bit. But the reality is we could use some listing inventory. So if it comes on at low price, that's not such a bad thing. At least it comes on. And then this is my favorite point from his email that I hope most of you saw, but it was at the bottom. So I'm bringing it to light here. He said, Be mindful that we need to focus on our flow activities. With so little inventory, whoever controls the inventory in 2021 will win the day, and we control the listings by knowing who among our people will want to or need to sell their homes. Being in flow, asking the right questions, and listening for pain or pleasure are how we know who those people are. So again, if you think you're close to your clients, get closer. If you think you're close to people in your database, get closer. Because they're not going to call you up and say, hey, I want to buy or sell because I'm in forbearance. And I guarantee you at least 10%, if not 20% of your SOI took the forbearance period. They're just not putting it on their forehead or their social media profiles and letting you know. So be mindful. All right, quick review on earnest money before we move forward to Andrew and Cheryl. You receive earnest money check today. When is it due to LPR? Yeah, that's a good answer. If you received it today, within 48 hours, we need to have it, okay? The problem is, and by the way, Saturdays and Sundays don't count, but the problem is we need to have documents because we have to deposit it within 48 hours. So if you get it within 48 hours, we need it. And then within 48 hours that you give it to us, we have to deposit it. Well, we can't deposit it without a contract. So if the girls call you and they say, hey, we need you to come pick up this check because you gave it to us, and you thought you were ratifying and you didn't, and now you're like, just hold on to it until I get another offer. We can't do that. So we're going to give it to you and you're going to give it back to the client. So really the best way to do it is to not take the check until you're ratified. And if they're leaving town, we understand that could be an issue, but use earnestly. It's $7. It's so much easier. So use earnestly if you can, if you're in that predicament, but we can't hold on to a check for more than 48 hours. And as soon as you get it, we need it. Now, I'm going to throw a wrench in this. What if it's a cashier's check? How quickly do we need to have it? Yeah, Alex Strega says on there, 24 hours because it's cash. We never accept cash for earnest money. We really don't like accepting cashier's checks. But we had one a week ago, and Tony came to me and she's like, Missy's telling me to send this to her immediately, but we don't have anything to send it to. And I'm like, yeah, it's because it's cash. Because it's cashier's check. So again, try to use earnestly if you can, but if you get a check, which is very common, we need it within 48 hours and we need your docs so we can turn it in and deposit within 48 hours. Good on that? All right. Ooh, I'm sorry. I put Caravan in front of y'all. All right. Let's hear from our agents in a second here. Just a quick note. We talked about being live on Caravan last week. And we are ready to do it. We had one person who was ready to go for Caravan this week, but it was the Poppies listing, and I'm pretty sure they're under contract, which is probably going to be the challenge we run into. But if you've got a listing that's been on the market for a little bit, Lauren, I think you have one, the divorced couple that wasn't on the same page, but now they are. So if you want us to Caravan that, absolutely, we will. Here is our criteria. I'll run through it really quick. Agents are encouraged to practice as much social distancing as possible. All agents should wear their face covering. Listing agent will be present and greet the agents outside the door, weather permitting, obviously. Listing agent will be present and prepare the home prior to the agents entering, which means provide hand sanitizer so that we can all do it when we walk through the door. Turn on all the lights so nobody has to turn on any light switches, and open all the doors, and then nobody touch anything. Very simple. Listing agent will allow maximum of 5 agents to tour the home at a time. And if the property is located in a condominium building with a common area, the agents will wait in the common area until it's their turn to go in, and we will not use the bathroom at the property. So our clients will sign this. You guys will sign this as a listing agent, and then we will do one feedback sheet per person rather than thinking that we're all going to pile in cars like we used to. So no Caravan karaoke, unfortunately. Yeah. And side note, Lauren just said that listing is under contract. So congratulations. That's awesome, girl. Good stuff. Right. I know. I'm pushing this live Caravan, and Sherilyn's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Everything sells way too fast. She's probably right. We could do it before they go on the market, though. We could do that. All right. So we've got Caravan here. Adam, do you want to talk to us about Sloop Street?
Sure. Yes. I would love to sell Sloop Street. I had it listed for a handful of months last year. It was kind of placed in September. They converted the garage to a but it needs a little bit of work. They're selling it as is. They kind of factor that into the price
Oh man, got an offer yesterday. He said, "Guys, I know you can't hear. I'm trying to translate everything you're saying to them." A good offer?
I can't show it until next week now. But if you have somebody interested, let me know. And I'll let you know.
It's a good listing. Adam's been struggling with this one for a while because the tenant is not cooperative, as many of you can imagine. But good news on an offer. That's great. Congratulations. Hopefully it works. All right, awesome. And then we've got the Poppies. Is this the one that we were going to caravan, Pin Oak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an adorable house and everything. But yes, we ratified a contract last night. Very few
Awesome.
contingencies and everything, but the house is adorable. We listed it late, I believe on Monday or Tuesday. And by the next morning, I think we already had like 10 showings set up for that day and everything. But it's a small house, but it's so cute. You know, we still encourage, we do not have a backup offer in hand if anybody wants to show it. Our client is actually, it's a multi-generational home. She has a 16-year-old son going to Wando, and her mother just moved in with her. So we actually presented an offer yesterday on a new home for them. So if anybody wants to show it for a backup, we encourage it, and it's pristine. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Congrats on the offer.
Thank you.
All right, Peggy and Liz. Is Peggy on? Do you know? Peggy, you want to talk to us about this one? So that way everybody will be able to hear.
Sure. This is an adorable townhouse in the peninsula. And Liz has really been handling this one, but 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Liz made it go active yesterday at probably about 2 and got an offer last night.
Holy smokes.
Absolutely crazy.
We're going to have to find a different way to talk about Caravan. It's going to have to be the coming soon feature, I think.
And if there are any showings you all want to have, just, call showing time and schedule.
Awesome. Because you're not ratified yet, Liz said,
right? Right.
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to have to switch this up to, instead of Caravan, it's going to have to be coming soon or buyer needs. So I'll talk to Tony and Alyssa about that because, yeah. All right. Got to shift with the market, right? Shift with the market. What'd you say? Oh yeah, it's definitely good to see what's going on. We could keep this portion in, but we're gonna have to tweak something. All right, so now on to Andrew and Charlene. What you got for us?
Hey, morning, everybody. So glad to be here with you guys. It's kind of been a while, the in-person thing, at least for me, since I wasn't here last week. So anyways, I'm just glad to be here. We're going to talk about something today that's really, really, really important. Andrew and I spent a lot of time reviewing property taxes with our clients when they're making offers, because taxes can be so different no matter where we're going and everything. So calculating real estate taxes, it can be very difficult. One of the things in the old days, because y'all know I've been doing this since 1988, we used to just base the taxes on what the owners were paying at the time of closing. Well, somebody in the government got really wise to that and thought, you know what, we'll just base it on the new price instead of the 20-year-old price. So it's very important to understand that whatever the taxes are in MLS are not going to be your client's taxes come closing time. So anyways, so here's a little bit of information, because taxes do vary widely. So based on a 2020 real property tax rates, what's the difference in property taxes on a $450,000 home in Mount Pleasant versus a $450,000 home in Daniel Island? And of course, Daniel Island is Berkeley County and the city of Charleston. So we got a lot of double dipping going on. So does anybody think Daniel Island is higher? Yeah. How much higher you think? Percentage? 40%, Adam says. Yep, 20%. 1,848 versus 3,332. Adam, I don't have my calculator up here, but that looks like about 40%. Woo-hoo-hoo, Adam. But yeah, it's a big difference. And so remember too, that Daniel Island taxes are the entire Clements Ferry corridor. So it's not just not Daniel Island proper. So that entire corridor, the taxes are higher. So sometimes when people say, I want to be on Daniel Island, most people that want to be on Daniel Island don't care what the taxes are. They want to be on Daniel Island. But just as an aside, when you're dealing with younger first-time home buyers, maybe retirees, the taxes can really make a difference. So anyway, so you want to pay attention to what's going on there and everything. So this map actually gives you the different areas of tax information. So if you look, Charleston County has a lot more tax districts. Berkeley County has a lot less. I imagine this will be changing a lot in the next 5 years. Berkeley County just hasn't been able to keep up with this. This map doesn't show that many different districts in Dorchester County, but there are a lot. So I'm going to show you some things here that will be very helpful for you to know. So Charleston County on a $450,000 valuation, you can see Isle of Palms is interestingly low. So what this means is they haven't done a reassessment plan on the town level for quite a while. So look at Isle of Palms, Mount Pleasant, Sullivan's Island, Daniel Island, that of course, downtown, all that makes sense. But North Charleston, Keith Summey has a huge tax base, and there's a lot of things he's doing with that money. So it's all good stuff. But you can see, you could buy, your taxes in Mount Pleasant are almost $90 a month less than they are in North Charleston. So that's how we, huh?
For the gun shop.
Oh, sorry, for the gun shop. So that's Charleston County. Of course, we have Berkeley County, Hanahan, Goose Creek, Monk's Corner, Charleston, North Charleston. So you can go on there. You have to, when Andrew and I are trying to calculate taxes for folks, if we're trying to get more specific than just a general overview, we kind of have to know the area in which the folks are really thinking about a home. Or if they find a home, of course, that's helpful to us. And then you look at Dorchester County, even little old Ridgeville, the taxes up there are 33, 34. Now, I grew up in Dorchester County. I'm a District 2 school, student. So they have a huge tax base for their education system up there. So, so when we go to check taxes, a lot of times we will ask you, where is the house? And sometimes I'll say, help me figure out the district, especially in Dorchester County, because it can make a very large difference. So anyways, very, very important. So why is this, like I've alluded to, why is it so important? Because if I've got somebody buying a house, say in Mount Pleasant, and then they decide to go to Daniel Island, they may not qualify based on that the taxes that they're going to have in the two different areas. So it's very, very important. Again, that's why we're very thorough with our pre-approvals up front. Okay. So now I've sent you all this PowerPoint this morning, and I think you're going to find this very interesting. Andrew and I just Googled Charleston County Tax Estimator, Berkeley County Tax Estimator, and you can fill in the information, and then you can put in 4% or 6%. It's very simple, just takes a couple minutes. And so I've sent you all those links this morning in the PowerPoint. I think you'll find them very helpful. That's what we do. And that's what the attorneys do. Okay, so when our closing package goes over to the attorney, they're like, yep, they got the exact right taxes. So that's how that works. Now, let me see what else. So here are the links. It's very easy. I'd highly recommend you bookmarking them if this is something you like to do. Now, I will tell you again, we'll go back to Palm Agent. If you put in the information in there, that information is pretty accurate because Low Country Title actually updates that information. So remember, y'all, it is so important with people coming in and buying a lot of second homes. You know, they don't understand all the time why the taxes are triple when it only goes from 4 to 6%. All right. Well, the reason is at 4% you get all these deductions. At 6% you get none. So so that's why that triples just about. So so there's your links for you. You know, I have a hard time answering questions, but does anybody have questions that Leah says Daniel Island is getting the shaft. Well, you're in the city, baby. Yeah, you go back to Riley about that. Yeah, Tina Hartford, my wallet hurts. I know. Isn't that something? Mount Pleasant is, yeah, where it's at, as everybody knows. So Jen Huffman, valuable links. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so good. All right, guys. The market last week was kind of messy, but we've settled back down. We're not quite down to the lowest point we were at the end of the year, but still 30-year fixed at 2.99. Y'all got to love this jumbo money because we got a lot of jumbo buyers out there at 2.875. So it's lower than the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac interest rates. I always want to point out the home ready, first-time home buyer or home buyers that meet the current income qualifying requirements, which means that I haven't gotten the new numbers, but they can't make over like $65,000. They can get in a house for 3% down. We do a lot of these loans. For the clients, they can normally afford the payment. They just don't have the cash. So it's a great program and everything. And anyways, any other questions I can answer for you guys? Yeah, so Andrew and I, just to let you guys know, we are still working, taking turns in the office because, it's a small office. But we are working from home. We've been very successful doing that. So feel free to reach out to either of us. And in the upcoming week, Andrew and I are going to start taking weekend duty. So we're going to send you out an email every Friday and say, hey, reach out to Andrew this weekend. Hey, we've been really busy and we appreciate that. We're going to take a little weekend time. So if you get a text from me that says Andrew's on duty, here's his number. We share all of our files. We can access everything 100% with each other's clients. So don't ever be concerned about that. So anyways, is that maybe it probably? Oh, thank you. So Melissa Loy, we had sweet closing, new construction last week. Thank you so much, Melissa. The client really trusted us to take care of her and she didn't have time to mess with it. And so she said, I don't need closing costs. So I've got that covered because you've done everything. And then Jeannie Axel, y'all, I got to tell you this story. She has worked with the client we closed yesterday for 4 years. You talk about a nervous Nelly client. And I've been working with him for almost 2 years. So yay, Jeannie, go girl, go girl. Anyways, thank you. And thank you to the Poppy team. We have a new loan. I actually came back to a different contract than they were originally negotiating because we had talked about the escalation clause and all that. And that contract, the seller didn't accept anybody. And so our buyer said, all right, no, I'm not playing with this. We're moving on. So they did find her a sweet house for $270 up in Goose Creek. So think outside the box. They are available. Thank you all for these referrals. We've had a lot this week. Dominique Cowles, Valerie Kelly, Dorothy Shea, Alex Torregas, John Nugent, Katie Sinkler, and Bonnie Cook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll get those people on paper, I'm sure, as soon as you can find them a house. Thanks for reaching out to us so we could help you. Katie Sinkler, Zakia Cannon, Lisa McKeechee, the Elite Rand team, Chip Violet, and Molly Lawson. Thanks, guys. We're here for you. Appreciate you. Okay. All right.
All right, before we jump in and wrap up into our mastery moment, does anybody have any have, wants, and needs they want to share for upcoming buyers or sellers? I know Melissa Loy put in here, she's got a listing coming on in Snee Farm Lakes, 3-bed, 3-bath. It's 1119 Hidden Cove, 1824 square feet, and she's probably listing at $350. But anybody else have any buyer needs or seller needs?
Maggie.
Hang on one second. Hang on one second. Go ahead. Duval has a $500,000 Albemarle penthouse coming on. What did you say again? 2 bedrooms? Okay. Albemarle penthouse, 500, 1 bedroom, a little over 1,400 square feet with photography coming in about a week. About 500. Reach out to Duval. It's on Instalist. Good. Awesome. And then Bob and Sherry offered, y'all had something?
Yes, we've got a cash buyer coming in this weekend, 400 to 450, needs Mount Pleasant, 1,800 square feet or so, bedroom down, a bedroom down, and some privacy in the back. So if anybody, as y'all know, there's nothing out there. So
but if you know of
If you know of anything coming up, please let us know.
Awesome. A couple in the chat box here. Buyer need Daniel Island 7 to 750. Reach out to Ritter. Charlotte has a need under 400. Mount Pleasant with a fence. Leah needs a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a frog, or 3 with a frog. Sorry, 4-bedroom or 3 with a frog in Carolina Park, up to 750. Critter has another one on DI up to 850. She has a need for that. And Jason Looney is looking for a penthouse in Shipwatch or Ocean Club in Wild Dunes. Jason, reach out to Leslie Evans for that. Mary Maloney said, please remember Stratton Place in Copiahy over 1 million. And Mary, if you want us to caravan those, we can do that. So talk with your sellers if they're comfortable. Gail, did you have something?
I do. I have buyers coming in pretty soon. They have a townhouse outside of Philadelphia to sell, and max of 675. They would like to stay in area 42. A little bit newer, don't want a whole lot of work. A fence would be nice. A garage would be nice. So your specifics are not too hard. But I'd love to hear from anybody who's got something coming up. Of course, I got them in MLS looking at stuff too. Daniel Island also would be fine. But that's going to be, I think, a little bit more of a stretch for what they're looking for. Any thoughts, anybody?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. John Graham, did you have one?
Well, I was going to see if I could tell everybody about a vaccine clinic tomorrow at Seacoast. I've got 2 people in my sphere that had March appointments for the vaccine. They are both signed up to get the vaccine tomorrow. So MUSC is doing 1,000 doses of vaccine tomorrow. One of my folks just signed up 2 hours ago and they got a 1 o'clock appointment. If it goes well, they'll do it again. But I just posted that link, I think, in the chat. But if you have people in your sphere that are in their 70s or medical professionals, they might still be able to get signed up today. But I think it'll go well, and they'll probably do it again. But you know, both these people in my sphere were really appreciative because they couldn't get the vaccine till March, and now they're have appointments to get it tomorrow. So.
That's good info, John. Why don't you post that on the Facebook page?
Okay, I'll post it there too.
Yeah, just because the chat will go away.
Okay,
thank you. And then we've got a couple more buyer needs. Melissa Loy's got Mount Pleasant clients looking less than 800, needs to be a planned community. Leslie Evans, buyer need West Ashley off the Greenway, 415 to 425. Melissa also has buyers in Beaumont or Snee Farm under 300, needs 3 bedrooms. All right, I think that's everybody. We will find a way to make Caravan a little bit more inclusive of that sort of stuff next week as well. Okay, quick mastery moment, and then we'll wrap for the day and send y'all on your way. I will be out of the office the rest of the afternoon for Ninja graduation. I won't be leaving here until about 1 o'clock, but just a heads up on that. So if you need me, call me or text me. So I just thought it would be good to kind of review something that we went through before. It'll take 2 minutes. I think it's worth a little refresher, but staying afloat and ahead in this market is very, very challenging. I know that many of you have felt like this comment here in the blue on the left. It's just been a rough week, which is you in the middle of the week on a Tuesday. I was talking to my mom on the way here like I do every single morning. And she said, what you got going on today? You got your sales meeting? And I'm like, yeah, I actually keep forgetting it's Thursday. So I hope I don't miss something. But I taught yesterday's training class, and in my head, I've been doing one thing a week, one training class a week. So I'm just so mixed up. I can't even figure out what day it is. But this has really been the theme for a lot of people. It's Tuesday and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. I feel like I'm going to lose it and it's only Tuesday, right? But this is really, truly the opportunity for us as agents to really switch from being agents to being consultants and sharpen our skills, get stronger, get smarter, get more skillful. And as this quote on the right says, today is a painful reminder of why we can only get brighter. So remember that in this whole struggle, in this market, every stressful moment you have, we are only responsible for the process. It is not our jobs to solve the market problems, but we feel that pressure because it's our job to find somebody a solution to their housing need, right? So we have to kind of strike a balance there. We can't solve the problems, but we can be guiding them through the problems, right? So think about the things that we can control. We can definitely control surprises. Ooh, sorry, that kind of got cut off. We can certainly control what surprises pop up. Not all of them, but most of them. We can certainly control lender delays by providing the right information we need to our lenders, choosing good lenders, and then following through and following up. We can certainly control incomplete repairs by just staying on the sellers and making sure that they get done, or staying on the contractors if we're on the listing side. We can set realistic expectations, so control unrealistic expectations, and anything else that you can think of. So the main thing here, unrealistic expectations, that's what we can control, and that's where our focus needs to be. So I want you guys to ask yourself this question. What parts of the process can I fine tune right now to better navigate the turmoil and the rough seas that my clients are in right now? We have clients who are so distraught that they can't find the home that they want, that they're trying to find the homes. They're going out on their own onto their Facebook pages, into their works, like wherever, the grocery store. They're talking to everyone, and they're finding houses and bringing them to you. And they're like, hey, this is the house I want to buy. And they're not on the market. They found it through a friend whose uncle, whose cousin listed the house. I mean, it's chaos, right? So all we can do is try to control that process and keep bringing them to you. And it's okay if they have some participation in the process, but we've got to say, what parts can I fine tune to better control that anxiety for that client? And it really ultimately is probably going to come down to expectations. Some of them you're not going to be able to control. So we've talked about this before, and you've heard this saying, go slow to go fast. I like to say, go slow to go far. If you slow down the process, you will last through the process, right? And that's really, really important. Systematic communication is really important. Checklist, pretty please use checklist. Trustworthy and dependable partners. Choose lenders that you know are going to get the job done on time. Choose attorneys that aren't going to say, well, I can't wire any funds after 5 o'clock. I mean, like, that keeps happening. What the heck is that? Choose insurance providers who are going to get the insurance bound on time. Choose good partners. Not only that, but choose good sellers. What's the difference between a good seller and a bad seller? There's one thing: proper expectations, and they can make good decisions. A good seller makes good choices. Like, hey, we have been on the market for 35 days in a market that has 0.3 of a month of an absorption rate. We probably need to reduce the price. And if they say yes, that's a good seller. If they say no, thank you, then that's probably not a good seller. Same on the flip side with buyers. I'm getting there, Carrie. Carrie said you need to set them up on the front end of the conversation. So we'll get there. Speaking about this market today, though, some creative cures to the inventory struggle. I just came up with these. I don't know if they're going to work. I'm just thinking outside the box, right? Obviously, we got to leverage our resources. Thorne told y'all he has a closing next week based on an InstaList match. That's awesome. Leaseback or reverse home to purchase or home to sell, leaseback or home to purchase contingency. You've seen that a bunch. Give us 6 months to find a place to live. We're going to lease back until we do. Or this contract is contingent upon Cheryl and her husband, John, finding a house to live on or before this date. Okay. Search active contingent with a kick out. If that person's house that they have to sell is not under contract yet, and you come in without a home to sell, guess what? That person who has a house to sell has to either sell it really, really fast or remove the contingency and you become primary. This one, check your database for past sales that match the criteria that your clients are looking for. If you have a client looking for a home in Snee Farm, go to your database, look at every house you've ever sold to anybody in Snee Farm. Does it match? Does it match? Does it match? No. Okay, this one actually might match. Let me go call them, talk to them about a real estate review, and see if they have any interest in selling. That's matchmaking, right? Search without active status in MLS. So what is that going to do? If you put in your criteria and then take off the active status or choose all the statuses, what is it going to do? Going to bring up everything, right? Everything that matches. But look at what's expired, what's canceled, and what sold in the past, like maybe 4 or 5 years that might be ready for an upgrade or a downsize. So get creative on that. Search for sale by owners and search on Facebook, because guess what? That's what your clients are doing. We often don't go to realtor.com or Google and search for sale by owners. We just don't do it because we have better information. Well, guess what? We got to start thinking like our buyers do. We've got to get really scrappy and creative on this kind of market. Okay. Back to what Carrie said. Question for you again. How much time are you spending to set realistic expectations on the front end? A, not enough. A, enough. B, not enough. Or C, I'm not sure. That's a really important question, because guess what you're doing every day? Hustling from one transaction to the next, hustling between one search criteria to the next, one model of searching. You guys are really working your tails off, looking for every avenue, nook and cranny to find listings. But we've got to slow down to go far through the process. And we've got to set that time up front. It really, really, really does pay off. So the last thing I'll tell you, I'm gonna wrap with this. You can't calm the storm, so stop trying. We can't fix the inventory problem overnight. But what we can do is stay calm, stay focused, stay steady, do what we do every day, keep it simple, stick to the basics, and let me help you. If you need a shift in focus, I got you. If you need to improve your processes, we'll do it. If you need to develop a system, we can do that. We can strategize that. Whatever it is, let me have your back, but the choice is yours on how we handle this going forward. You guys have so much production already so far in the year, but guess what? It's not even the end of January. We have a lot of time to go. So we got to hang tight. We got to buckle in, and we've got to stay steady and focused. And I'm here to help you guys with whatever you need. So let me just check and see if we've got anything else in the chat box. Lauren, I know you are not alone when you say, I feel like I've been beat down last week and this week. I'm consulting away. People are not loyal. They're just crazy. Yep. We all feel it, girl. You're not wrong. She also needs a house in Oyster Point. So if anybody has ever sold anything in Oyster Point other than Melissa Loy, who's working hard to help her find one, reach out to your people. And also Karen Taws has something coming up in Old Park, going on MLS on Friday. Awesome home, 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths, 3 full, 2.5, and then going on for 2.25. It's on Old Salt Run. Awesome stuff, Karen. All right, guys, thank you very much for being here. Stay on for prayer if you would like. I appreciate y'all. Laura and Dan, you have something?
Yeah, this is Laura. I just wanted to let everybody know who needs hours this for renewal this June. And I just took a class yesterday at CTAR. It was a Zoom class with David Jaffe. It was very organized. It was a good experience. It was a 4-hour class. He actually really kept everybody's attention, interactive and everything like that. I just wanted to let you know, if anybody is skeptical about a Zoom class, I'm signed up for my ethics in February. It was a good experience. So I highly recommend it.
Awesome. Definitely need to get that stuff done before April, just because of the changes. So
For sure.
yeah, and you all missed donuts at the office today, by the way. Cheryl brought donuts. So every person here gets like 12 donuts each. We actually do have a good turnout here this morning too. And last thing I forgot to mention that Tony and Alyssa asked me to mention, 1099s. Please come to the office and pick up your 1099s. We have to hand them to you physically. And we will not put COVID on them, I promise. But please come to the office and pick up your 1099s. Thanks for being here, guys. Have an awesome day and end of the week. If you need me, call me. Yep.
Thanks, Maggie.
You're welcome.
Hey, so I was there when you got there to give blood yesterday.
I know you were. You were almost finished when I got there, weren't you?
I know, and you know what? I had to just look out the window and just focus on Moe's. I was like, I'm looking forward to Moe's one day. So, and
Yes,
what did they make you? What